So all in all, things are going well. I mean, a few minor disasters, which I think is going to just be large amounts of work rather than any real problems, is that the straw that we got clearly has a fair amount of weed seeds in it. I'm trying to find you a good example here. Yeah. There you go. So I'm thinking it's wheat. I'm no expert on cereals, but as you can see, so that's going to be a problem throughout the season. I mean, I guess it's a single season problem. There you go. Look. I mean, and I sort of always knew it was a risk, but we'll see how bad it is as time goes on. Alright, so here's the last of the beds, and here's the patch. So, I guess we're gonna scratch everything back, dig some holes, stick some wood in it, pile back up the dirt and straw, and see how we go. Alright, it's already late in the day, so this might not get done today, but I don't know if you can see, maybe it's going to show you my ridiculous drawing. Let's have a look. But this is the idea here, is this was always going to be the flower beds anyway. Sort of, you can see. So we might have a rounded beds on the end and a couple on the side. And maybe then I'll leave us a space in the middle to sit and relax. I'll see if I have another bed in the middle or not. But for now, I might try and do that. See how it goes. Well, as you can see, the soil is not too bad here. It's very rocky, it's always my issue with it, but we just had some rain recently. Otherwise it's overall pretty good. Now I'm no expert on Hügelkultur, but I've toyed a bit once or twice. I don't really know if there's any specifics you have to worry about too much, but when I've done it, I've literally just gone ahead and buried wood in the ground and planted on top of it. I mean, I don't know if there's anything more to consider, maybe how the wood's been treated before, etc, etc. But this all seems to be mostly tree wood, and this is going to be all for edibles and all for flowers and not for edibles, so I'm not too worried about it. So I'll dig this out the way, and then we'll get some wood in there. Alright, quickly done. One of the things I quite like about Hügelkultur though is playing with the widths and the depths and the sort of 3D element. So I might go a bit wider. The symmetry might annoy me, so I might try and make it a bit more symmetrical. But we're getting there. Right. Well, that's long and short of it. Nothing complicated. Just an hole in the ground. Let's fill her up. I've messed around with Hügelkultur a couple times before. Never had any problems. Never had access to wood quite like this either. That's what they say about it. It's great for retaining moisture, and as you can see, that really is like a sponge. So we'll get this in. I mean, it's varying degrees. This one's a bit more solid, but some of it's just falling apart. So it'll be nice to see what the mixture's like. Some of it's already got mushrooms growing out, so we'll see. Well, I was moving it all up and down by a wheelbarrow. Then I remembered I bought a frickin' van the other day. So yeah, that's a lot easier. Alright, we've got that sort of U shape. And there is some pretty good mixture of rotten down stuff, not too rotten down stuff, extremely rotten down stuff. Some good shapes and sizes. I'm going to start filling it in with the soil on the outside and see how we look. Alright, I don't know how easily visible that is, but it's a little Hügelkultur. Do one there, and one there, and one there. And then I guess we'll probably do little planting pockets like that. Maybe putting sunflowers or something in here. And as that breaks down over time, should have a nice ornamental block with a nice little seating area inside. Cool, cool. Morning, morning. So it is, what is it actually, May the 7th, I think. We'll have a little quick tour around the greenhouse, well, the prop tunnel. A lot of stuff has gone down the bottom now because it's getting warmer, closer to the sunglass. Taking some risks, but not too bad. So I feel like we're behind everybody on our courgettes, but it's in the mountains, so you've got to be careful. Butternuts, cucumbers, beans, dahlias, really starting to, that one's not too bad, but some of them are really starting to want to go now. I'm just holding back. There you go, look at them. Have to wait till the frost passes. Aubergine's looking great. Look at these guys. Started in 15th of February, so we've had them going for a long time now. Started in the basement, transported all the way from Lyon. Started some more flowers as well. We'll get some foxgloves going. I know they're biennials, but I do love them. They remind me of home. Shady plants. Cosmos. Lots of them. Straw flowers, tagetes, Mexican sunflowers, suntorch. We can get some Jerusalem artichokes in the ground now as well. We'll have a look at the new beds I made down the bottom. This top bed's actually starting to settle in nicely. One of the sunflowers got toasted from too much rain. It's been raining like crazy. It's been like 30 odd mil in the last couple of days. And it's not stopped yet. Well, I mean, it's stopped right now, but there's going to be some more rain coming in the next couple of days. I think about 50 odd mil more. And then I think hopefully we'll get some sunshine. Compost needs flipping again. 60. I think I'm going to do another one there. And I might sort of build piles working down this slope. There's plenty of straw to mix with it, just to stop cutting some grass. Got this nice big pile of stinging nettles here as a compost activator. Some wood chips we could run through it, so it's good. I mean, the intention here with these top parts is to grow biomass to make in the compost. This has been sown with vetch and buckwheat and rye. So it's starting to come up, so once that comes up, hopefully we'll have infinite biomass. Oof, you sit here. It's just problematics. All the oh, okay, that's not it actually. I'll show you now though. I'll show you now the issues we're having with the straw. Kind of inevitable, but I was hoping that they would not supply us with very weedy straw considering what we were doing with it, but it has actually been the case. So there's going to be definitely a bit of a trade-off between how much weeds we get versus how much good carbon. Going to be a bit of a trade-off between how much weeding we have to do versus how much organic matter we gain in the soil. Because I mean, some are particularly bad. This one is not great, which is a bit annoying because it's actually the radish bed and it's full of radish. You see. Whereas the leeks up there have not even got a single weed in them. I mean, aware of the fact that this is really a one season problem. And for the, I mean, versus cardboard, obviously you wouldn't have this issue at all. But it also adds relatively zero organic matter to the soil. Whereas this adds a very large amount of organic matter. But it's obviously a big problem to have wheat, which I think is wheat, just popping up all in your beds. I mean, you could argue it's good to have something growing, but at the end of the day, it's going to be very time consuming. But oh well. Realised you could fit some lettuce and spinach in between our last onion bed. So I did that, it's looking nice, and see, no weeds, no weeds. So all this rain is sort of wet everything through and allowed the germination to happen. Got the rocket. The bed's starting to come up now. Some more Chinese cabbage. I'll show you that one actually, it's more interesting. Again, planted lettuce down the sides. I'm realising with interplanting lettuce, I don't really have to do any lettuce only beds, which is nice. This block here, number 5, 10 beds. Block number 9, we're supposed to have 10 beds as well, but we only have 6. So instead, it's quite hard to see on camera. It will be more obvious as time goes by. There's a sort of C-shaped Hügelkultur here. So I buried some logs underneath. I'll do a video about that as well. And I built some raised beds. And I've got like a little keyhole Hügelkultur bed here. So you can come stand in the middle, maybe put a chair here and relax and read a book. And I think I'll put a table in this place. The flowers will just go around it. See what's quite nice here is where everything else is a bit straight lines and not so much playing. Here I can have a bit of fun. Got some echinacea, which seem to be growing just as well outside or in pots, so I'm going to put them out. Got some Jerusalem artichokes, which make, or sunchokes, which make gorgeous flowers. I'm going to plant them in little pans. Never thought my garden design module would start to be useful, but starting to have a bit of fun with it. Why not? Don't know that everybody knows about the tomahawk system, but I'll presume that you don't. But it's not a very complicated system. If you see here, I've got these wires here, which is going to be where I'm going to be connecting stuff. The tomatoes are going to go in here every 40 odd centimeters, and this relies on the lower and lean system. So essentially you hook yourself up, you have a string that wraps around here, and then you unwind the string and you reattach and move it along so that the tomato sort of goes from being straight to tilted at a 45-degree angle, just to maximize the space. So I think I'm going to give that system a go. And I realised that tomahawks are not an overly complicated piece of technology, so I bought some string, some 2.4mm wire, just bent it, and now I've got, alright, very very varying in sizes. Look at these bad boys. But I did do most of them in a car journey. There you go. I'll show you guys when that's set up. Let's have a look at the tunnel then. The Korean mint is doing very well. Agus stash. It smells fucking, it's freaking fantastic. This is some rocket just for us, so I'm not really too bothered about flea beetles, because that's just for, it's going to be ripped out in a month or so, or less now. And now we've got hoops inside to keep everything alive. But everything's doing well. We've got all the sunflowers ready to go out. Some of them are absolutely enormous now. It's been a bit of watering troubles in here because the sunflowers are already watered, but I moved some stuff in that needed to be watered, so there was a slight bit of overwatering, but otherwise mostly good. I decided that the lower tunnel was getting a lot more light than the top tunnel. The top tunnel getting a lot hotter, but here's getting a lot more light, so I moved all the tomatoes down as well. That comes with its own problems. The fact that they're not on a flat surface is a bit of a nightmare, and the fact that I have to cover them up every night. But otherwise we're looking good in here. The lettuce are enormous. I mean, I really need someone to start buying them now because they're massively grown in. Even getting a few straws now. Oh. Delicious. So we're going to finish weeding up this patch today. Mulch it up. Chuck in some fertiliser to start breaking down the mulch. And that's where all the aubergines are going to go, along that edge. So that's the tunnel. Basically ready to receive summer crops. So that's very exciting. I've done the edges now. Mulched them up. Put some fertiliser on them, some organic fertiliser, mostly manure based and with some seaweed in it for minerals. And we've got a little bit of the same problem as outside, inside, but I mean, I'm not too stressed about it. I can't. Life's too short to stress about stuff. I'm gonna make another batch of compost. Doing a bit of strip mowing just to collect some greens. Good old greens. Pile. Just gotta tuck her in, get a top, chuck it over her. It'll be like this one. It's flipped it today. It's starting to climb again. It was up to 60, then it went down to 10, and now it's climbing back up again. So we'll have one there, and we'll just work our way down the line. Compost. So it's the 13th of May, so we're theoretically past what is called the Saint de Glace, or the Saint Glace, which is supposed to be one of the last frost dates, but we also live in the mountains, so I don't know, there's also some risk of potentially having a problem at the 25th of May. So it's a bit of a tough one about what to do with all the stuff that's inside. Actually starting to get some blocks finished, as in putting the wood chips in as well, which to be fair is taking a long time. Carrots coming up. Oh, here's the problem I was telling you about before. Well, I don't know if I did actually, I made a video about it, but I don't know if I put it in, but this is the wheat that's coming up from underneath. I mean it's worse in some parts, but I mean I'm not going to stress about it too much. Mostly for now, this is our carrots, onions and lettuce bed, which is doing very well. Everything's looking very clean and feeling very firm with the wood chips. I wasn't sure how much of a difference it would make, but actually it makes quite a nice difference to work on. Now it's been some little fungal friends. Chinese lettuces, Chinese cabbage is coming along nicely. It's such a fast grower. Yeah, I wasn't sure it would make such a huge difference, but honestly after, Jesus, so much mushroom activity actually. After putting it down for a while now, it's starting to firm up. It's actually starting to give quite a solid bed compared to the straw, which was quite slippery, which we've still got here. So yes, we have a lot of lettuce. So we're trying to organise a market sometime soon, because we need to shift some of it. Need to make some money, because May is a bastard. We've got all our tomatoes ready to go in the ground, but I've kept them in pots at the moment, which is slightly more dodgy anyway, but at least it gives me the option to move them. But so far so good. So we've got some spares that we'll also be selling. 8 different varieties, all from Samart, very expensive seeds. Hopefully a very nice, look at this, beautiful Oaxacan one. Look how different it is to your standard tomato look. So I'm hoping we'll do some plant selling as well. Very excited to get these out. Look at them already. Sunflowers growing like crazy. Mahusive, I think they want to go outside as well though. We've got the red velvet and we've got a standard type. So a nice couple beds of sunflowers. Parsley's looking great. This is a rocket bed just for us though. That'll be covered over with this biochar compost, and more tomatoes going in there. Korean mint in now, agastache. There's an echinacea along this side. These should be like 2 nice beautiful flower beds. And then sunflowers are going, these 2. I do not remember what this one's for. Maybe zinnias, I believe. Dahlias at the top there. So I'm excited to get all the flowers out after this frosts have passed. Here we have some perennial beds we're making, but I mean it's really just leftover stuff. Some more agastache and chives. This is our big Hügelkultur area. Weirdly, the Chinese cabbage is a lot less attacked by flea beetles inside the Hügelkultur than inside standing bed. Some more spring onions and beets. Big gap, I'm not sure what's going here, maybe some lettuce again. And here, came across, well, I mean I stumbled upon a lot of onion bulbs, but it's a bit late. So I'm growing what they call green onions. I'm rooting already, it's only been a couple of days. So I'm growing what you call green onions. So you place them in like this, very close. And as they come up you can either cut them, and they're like little spring onions, or you can let them grow on, pull them out, and then you've got slightly bigger onions, like scallion type things. See how it goes. Couldn't resist here to just do a little herb bed. Got some echinacea in the end, some tarragon, some thyme, some mint, some parsley, some rosemary, and more chives coming through. I'll mulch out of wood chips once I can actually see where they are, but for now they're quite small. Well, that was quite nice. Nice addition. So let me show you the extent of the weed pressure in some of the some of the worst beds. I'll show you some of the worst beds now. Here we go. Look, so this one's been sown with carrots, I believe. And you can see they're all just starting to pop up. They're starting to pop up, which is a bit of a nightmare. So I'm going to come through today, weed all these by hand. I don't think I've got much choice. So ones that haven't been sowed already, I can just flip them over with a hoe, but I had to go through and do the radish the other day. Bit of a nightmare. You live and learn. Maybe next time cardboard would be better. Kale's looking beautiful. Alright, well that's a bit of a rundown for the last couple of months we've had. It's been wet to say the least. So I'm hoping for a bit of sunshine now to start things growing, because everything's sort of stalled for a while. We're trying to get some markets going, so it's going to be a busy month or so. And I'll try and get some content out as soon as I can. Thanks.